Hi, welcome back. Today I am going to give you an update on my Bible reading challenge and how that's going. But first, I just want to say I haven't disappeared. I haven't gone anywhere, obviously, because I'm here. But it's just been a busy couple weeks, so I haven't gotten around to recording. Plus, just when the rainy season starts, any creative ideas that I have just kind of go out the window because it's just I'm unmotivated to do the extras. It's not laziness necessarily, it's just having to keep the kids educated and on top of all the house tasks when it's rainy. It's just I don't want to do anything extra, but hopefully I am back at it and will hopefully be releasing videos more consistently, because I should be a little less busy. Yes, I know Thanksgiving's coming up next week, but I'm not hosting this year. I'm not. Usually we have it by ourselves, but we're actually going to my parents this year. So I don't have as much cooking to do. So it'll be a little bit more laid back of a Thanksgiving week for me next week. But anyway, so without further ado, how is the read through the Bible in 6 months thing going? We also had a little bit of cold. So if I cough or something, it's just a lingering cough from that cold. But anyway, so I think I'm still on track to be done by either the end of this month or the very, probably the first week of December, which is where I pretty much expected to be at this point, was either be done by November, by the end of November, or, a week and a half into December. So I'm right on track. And I'm happy about that, but it's going really, really well. And like I said, it's never too late to start this. You don't have to start when I started. You can start any time of the year. You can go at your own pace. It doesn't have to be 6 months. For me, like I've said in previous videos, the reason that I do 6 months is because the first half of the year, I like to read just whatever else I can read theologically, or just some other books to keep my mind going and educated. So yeah, because you gotta stay fresh. But I know I just like being a lifelong learner as well, especially when it comes to theology and stuff like that. So I usually try to read theological books, but there are some other books that I mix in there. But here is where I am at. It's already halfway through November. As you can see, well, a little over halfway. As you can see, I'm getting close to having all those boxes checked on that last month on my thing. Yes, it goes to December because this is a read through the Bible in a year plan that I found that I've had for a long time. But yeah, I'm just reading 2 to 3 days at a time instead of just one to get through it in a year. But anyway, so what I read in October, I was trying to remember what month it is. I know it's November now, but I was October. I'm still waking up for the day. So anyway, so what I read for last month was I read 1 Timothy, Esther. I think I've mentioned that it does it mixes Old Testament and New Testament, so you're not just going straight through. It gives you a mix. So I read 1 Timothy, Esther, 2 Timothy, Job, Titus, Jeremiah, and which Jeremiah is really long, so it went into, it was normally that would be 2 months of reading for Jeremiah, but a month basically of reading through Jeremiah, because it's let's see, 13 days, well technically 12 into 1 month, and then 4 days, so yeah, 16 days to get through Jeremiah, but I did it in less. But yeah, so Jeremiah, and then I read Lamentations, 1 John, 2nd and 3rd John, 1 Peter, and Ezekiel is where I started this month, because Ezekiel is a pretty long book. Man, that's a crazy book. It's now I know why there's all those, I've read it before, but it was just a reminder why there's those memes of this is what a biblically correct angel would have looked like, and it is crazy. But anyway, I also read some of Psalms, and then it switched over to Isaiah for about halfway through the month. Well, about what would be halfway through the month, so like a quarter of the way through the month for me. But yeah, so I'll explain what I'm going through now in the next video when I tell you if I made it to my goal. So anyway, so it has been really, really good. I meant to mark a verse and share it with you all so you guys know, get a little nugget of what I've been reading, but I forgot to do that. So whoops. But anyway, I just want to encourage you all, if you haven't read through the Bible in a while, it's never too late to start. If it takes you a year, if it takes you longer than a year, no big deal. But yeah, I encourage you to read through it. For me, I just try to do it once a year, so that's why I do the 6-month thing, because I want to read other books too. But yeah, because my time is limited as a homeschool mom and a mom with a bunch of kids. It can be a little too loud for me. Like, I have to like have quiet when I'm reading, so I like to read in the morning while the kids are still sleeping, right after my husband leaves for work. Is when I usually read, so it's just nice and quiet. It's time to just like sit and actually have time to focus on what I'm reading, because if there's too much noise, I'm not gonna get much out of it. So yeah, so however long it takes you, I just encourage you if you're a believer, to do it. If you're not a believer and you've been wanting to read the Bible to know what it's all about, I encourage you to do it as well. There's some like really crazy stuff in there that's like you could make movies out of easily and be entertained by it. Like, yeah, pretty crazy. Like stuff that would probably be rated R because of like violence and other crazy stuff that happens. But yeah, so highly recommend everybody should read through it at least once if you've wanted to. And yeah, go at your own pace. Don't beat yourself up if you miss a day or two there. It's fine. It's up to you. I was gonna say who cares, but like, you know, usually when you miss a day, you kind of like, oh, I missed a day. But you know, don't beat yourself up. Just get back to it and you'll get through it, push through. I know there's some books that are really challenging to read through. Like I mentioned in the Old Testament, the books of the law, like Leviticus and Numbers, not the most thrilling books, though there are some like really good stories intertwined in there. But yeah, so I just encourage y'all, read through it. When you get to those spots where it's like, okay, I'm just reading about laws, I'm reading about censuses, I'm reading genealogies, this is tough, just push through. You'll get through it eventually, and you'll be able to say, hey, I read through my entire Bible. It may have taken 6 months, it may have taken a year, it may have taken 2 years, but I did it. And I am proud of myself because I can finally say I've read the whole thing. Because honestly, I've gone to church like my whole life. I had a rebellious period when I was a teenager, but I can honestly say up until like probably my late 30s, I don't think I've ever read entirely through the Bible. So I just highly recommend it. It's great because it helps you with your relationship with God, if you have a relationship with God, because how do you get to know him better? Well, through prayer is important, but also through his word that he's given us. So highly, highly, highly recommend it. And yeah, I think that's gonna do it for me today. Like I said, I'm gonna try to be around a little more. But yeah, I might do some videos on like stuff I've gotten for the kids, just maybe inspire some people for Christmas ideas. I haven't even started shopping yet. But yeah, so just maybe share some thoughts on gift giving and maybe some things next week on giving thanks, like a little thing we're doing. So yeah, I hope to see you all next time. Bye.